No, that's close enough. Back up. I'm sorry. Good. Come on, guys. Back up. Good? Yep. You want to give them my spot? Yep.
How did it feel,
How did it feel to be back out there?
It was good. You know, I mean, it was a walkthrough this morning, so we obviously had to calm the tempers. The guys were excited and ready to go, but you know, it's good to be back. It feels like it should. You know, it's time to play some football.
How's your shoulder?
I'm healthy. I'm ready to roll, and I think this team had a good off season. So guys came in shape, and we're excited about the opportunity ahead.
You've always enjoyed the game, but given last year and the fact that you were forced to step away from it, do you think you appreciate it even more now, the opportunity to be back out here?
Well, I think anytime you're away from the game for any extended period of time, you understand why you played it growing up, why you love it, and why you love to compete and be out here with these guys. And for me, it's just another opportunity when I missed to know that, you know, I want to work my butt off to be back out here to be helping this football team win. And I think I've done that leading up to this point, and I just got to keep going.
Tony, Jason talked yesterday about what you possibly gained by taking over those practices in May without coaches. What do you think you gained mainly?
Well, I just think our team needed to do stuff this offseason, and not just a 2 or 3 day weekend. For us, we decided we were going to put together a month or so of on the field activities, and we basically ran practice without pads, and guys were committed to running around, being out there competing and being smart about it. And I think it really was a huge benefit to us. It was invaluable, I feel like, for the defense, having to come about a whole new system. We had all the cards drawn up for every play of the off season, and I think that allowed them to learn a little bit. And offensively, guys really got to run, get their legs in shape, and be ready to go when this thing started.
Did any of it feel differently for you, in particular, being out there and being more in charge without coaches around?
Well, I think when you're out there, you end up, I wanted to make sure that the practice was scripted by the minute. You know, if we get out there and all of a sudden things aren't just kind of guys, oh, let's try and move over here, let's do it, then we're only going to be out there, a short amount of time. Guys won't be as committed. So I wanted to make sure that we went from one drill to the next on time. 7 minutes here for stretch. We got 14 plays in team, 10 and 7 on 7, and things of that nature. And blow the whistle, you got 2 minutes for water break, boom, boom, boom. And these guys, they're professionals, and they just want structure, and I think that's all that we were trying to provide this offseason, and it was good. Guys showed up, and it was a great turnout.
Did they approach you about restructuring? Just are you willing to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything the team needs, they know that I'm here for that, and whenever that time comes, if they need it, we'll talk about it.
A lot of guys talk about it. They say you've been a different guy in this offseason in terms of your leadership, how active you've been in that role. Have you viewed yourself have you done anything differently? Do you think you've been a different guy in that respect?
Well, I think any time that you are basically controlling, the time and the practices and the whistle, you're just in a position that's going to, get everybody to be on the same page, to be out there and to be committed to working hard. And you got to rally the troops and get guys going. And it's not that hard with a lot of the veteran leadership we have in this club. I just need to get the individual guys at each position group to buy in, the leaders. And once they did, it was easy from that point. From my perspective, you're always kind of in a leadership role, playing the quarterback position. So for me, that's just something that needed to take place this offseason that we hadn't had to in the past.
How's the approach this year different under Coach Garrett than it was last year under Coach Phillips?
Well, I'm not into trying to decipher what's different or anything. We're in day one here right now, and all I know is this team came out with a lot of energy today, and guys are doing great. They're in shape, and I think it's going to be a great camp.
Tony, you always talk about what you learned.
Last season, how much did you learn, or what was the biggest thing you learned? I know you always try to do something in the off season, but was there something you took from sitting out last season?
Well, I think you're always analyzing how individually you can improve and collectively. As you get older, you're always trying to find new ideas or what are things that can help push your team along. And I think that's one thing. You look at the game a little more from a coach's perspective sometimes in the overall scheme of it. At the same token, you're always trying to get better individually. So I know that the easy answer is just that the passion for the game. You love it, you miss it, and it's just hard to watch the game, and you want to be out there competing and doing what you love to do. So those are the things, I guess.
You said after the Philly game that you were anxious to play even then in January. What's this 7 months been like?
It's been hard, because it was great. We went out and had a month-long practice just because it felt like I was finally playing some football again. And you know, you do all the stuff on your own, you do it with some of the guys, but it's just great to compete and get 11 on 11 and see what happens. So for me, I love competition. It's great to be back out. I'm excited as a guy could be to be playing football again.
How much different does it feel to you getting started, considering you missed so many games last year, considering the team was 6-10, all that? How much different does it feel to you starting this year?
Well, it just feels like it's been a long time since you know, you've been out here playing. You know, even doing this, just these things you haven't done in a long time, and I think it's enjoyable to be back out here throwing the football and competing. And now all of a sudden, the little things each day. Why? How am I going to improve? How can this team improve? How can we get better every day we're out here? And that's what we're doing.
Was there some uncertainty coming out today, wondering what was it going to be like?
A little bit. I mean, usually the first practice you're moving around real fast, and we had to kind of throttle back as players. Our coaches told us to slow down, but I think the guys were, you know, ready to go, and we're excited. I think this afternoon there'll be some moving a little bit, and it's just great to be out here competing.
Is that part of it?